Wow. Okay. So, wow. I, um, I, wow. Um, so I was having that really rough night the other night, and I, needed to make the video for myself darkened, just like this one is gonna be, in the middle of the night to, talk myself through. And, um, and it was very comforting. It was very helpful. I actually listened to it 3 or 4 times and ended up being able to fall asleep in peace. So that's wow, that's beautiful. I mean, I'm incredibly grateful for that. And then I don't know exactly why, but I shared, the song that I wrote so long ago, with my lovely Felix. And then, I don't know, it's been so long since I've looked at that channel, really. And so I looked to see what other videos I had, and I have that super long emotional video regarding suicide and how intensely it affected me when Robin Williams committed suicide. And it's just amazing just watching that again. I mean, wow. It just, first of all, I remember a few very vivid times that video saved my life. I never imagined that my life would get just so much worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I remember several different points in time where I felt moved to watch that video when I was really feeling extra suicidal, even though I have never attempted, and I will never attempt, for my children. When I made that video, it never occurred to me that I would ever truly want. I mean, I've always dealt with wishing that I could cease to exist and not be alive anymore, but there's such a distinction between that and actually wanting to kill oneself. And I never thought that I would truly, truly feel that badly, that deeply, that hopelessly, and be in that much pain, physically, mentally, emotionally. And yet after the stroke and all the seizures, and they just called it anxiety and everything. Thank God for that doctor in Fresno, that ophthalmologist that saw the signs of the stroke in my eye and confirmed that I was healing nicely, which I've been getting my memory back more and more, so I concur with James, whatever his last name was, Stewart, I believe. Anyway, I'm so grateful that I made that video pleading with complete strangers and expressing myself so thoroughly, because it has literally saved my life a couple times. And watching it tonight, being in a space where I have no desire to die whatsoever, even though I've gotten the bad news that I only have 2 months worth of rent left and I might be homeless yet again. And I just, I think I can make it through this winter and the next season, but if I have to be homeless again this winter, I honestly do not know that I will make it through to the spring of 2022. I don't know how much more physical oomph I have left, and I don't know how much more emotional energy I have left. And I just, a lot of things are changing in the world, and a lot of the resources out there for homeless people are a sham. I've been discovering for way too long now, being homeless on and off for 12 solid years. I'm grateful for the times that I've been able to live with my parents. I'm grateful for the times I've been able to live with friends. I'm grateful for the times I've been able to afford rent. I'm grateful for the times I had a car. I'm grateful for the very brief and rare times that I have had a job and been able to physically work. I am grateful that I'm still alive. So grateful. And the reason why I'm recording this right now is because I am so pleased with myself. I have still failed in everything. Oh dear, I believe I'm going to sneeze. Oh, please no. Come on, baby, sneezes are so painful for me. Tried to tell them when I was a child. Wish that I would have had a chance to have someone look at my brain and do scans when I was young so that I could compare them to the scans that have been done as an adult. Maybe they would have seen the signs of the stroke if there were scans done when I was young. Anyway, let's not think about that, shall we? Let's focus. First of all, noting with gratitude that I did not sneeze. Second of all, back to, what was I saying? The whole point of this video. Ah, yes. Now, I have failed in every outward financial or relationship area in which I have attempted to accomplish things. Still, just like I say in that video, I failed at everything. I was 34 then. I'm 41 now. Wow, That's a lot. Ouch. hell, that is a lot more failure, because it's like, honestly, the only thing I've succeeded at is staying alive, which is a big deal. Considering everything, it's a really big deal. Anyway, I was so uncomfortable with eye contact and challenged by communicating when emotional back then. I could not even handle looking at myself in the camera, and I still find that a challenge quite often, but I also have quite a few times where it's not as much of a challenge, and I've improved. I mean, I have hardly posted any of the, ouch, I have hardly posted any of the videos that I have made of myself over the years, because they were so real and raw and personal, and I continue to be afraid that I will actually catch attention at some point. That video about suicide and Robin Williams is like the only video that I have ever truly wanted to be shared and spread, and it's like the only thing that I have ever truly felt that passionately about. I haven't even managed to make a video speaking to my children about my love for them and post it, because I struggle to communicate about my deepest feelings, and I worry that, well, for the last 5 years, since the stroke and all the seizures, I have worried that I would behave inappropriately and cuss too much or speak too honestly about certain things that I've learned, or speak too honestly about my experiences and my feelings in, like, you know, backwards to forwards, so that I would come across wrong to my children, and that their feelings would get hurt, and that they would, you know, walk away believing that the, you know, bullshit that they've been taught about my way of being and my choices and my love for them, or lack of love, because they have been taught that I do not love them, that I do not love them. I mean, I don't know exactly what they've been taught, but I know that, you know, they somehow got convinced to make the choice of their own accord, one by one, over the years, to stop speaking with me. And the only reason that my children would ever choose to stop speaking with me is if they actually believed that I do not love them and am not best to be in their life, because my children loved me very, very much. And on some level, they still do. I just... watching that video, I mean, first of all, it really made me wish that I could access that channel and change the title and try to reshare the message with people. And, you know, I wish that I could find someone to help edit it and create it to be a shorter, more powerful plea that would become viral and reach and touch people's hearts so that they do not, absolutely do not take their own lives. I wish that I could be somehow miraculously a part of, you know, no more suicide, just less and less and less suicide. I mean, especially right now with this pandemic and the, you know, suicide being on the rise. And maybe, you know, maybe I'll ask Steve if he could try to edit it and create it as a viral, you know, he's got those skills. Maybe I'll do that next week. I don't know. We'll see. If I remember to, I will ask him for that. But anyway, I was afraid then of being known and the attention that might come, but I felt strongly enough to make the video anyway, and I shared it with everyone, and it only has like 107 watches, views. And at least 4 or 5 of those are from me. But I mean, some things have remained the same, and so much has changed. And I am so happy to report to myself, you have grown. Girl, you are still such a failure. We have failed at everything. All the outward things. We've failed at all the outward things, but we stayed alive. And I mean, oh my gosh, you know, I did that utopia thing, trying to stretch and grow, and I was a part of Sheroes because I feel passionately on what they are for, but also to try to stretch and grow. And, you know, if the Dalai Lama had showed up to the Parliament of World Religion, I would have been a part of the group dancing for the Dalai Lama. And even when I found out that he was not going to be there, which was the whole reason that I was bold and brave enough to agree to dance in front of thousands of people in October 2015. Man, that was a beautiful, beautiful summit. Gorgeous. Amazing. And they promised they'd continue it, and they haven't. Damn shame. Anyway, I did it anyway because I had given my word and because I had the capacity, and it was horrible. It was horrible. There were thousands and thousands of people there, and I got up on that stage with all the other ladies and did the freaking Sheroes dance, and I interacted with so many people those few days. I was the center of attention a good chunk of the time, and I mean, I was willing to allow Rayhan to open up my Facebook so that I could have 5,000 followers. I mean, I just, granted, I ended up getting very overwhelmed by that, mostly because so many Middle Eastern men were wanting to have a relationship with me, which was highly confusing and overwhelming and frustrating. And then also I ended up losing access to that account after the stroke and the seizures and everything. But still, the fact that I was willing, and, I have worked so hard at overcoming my communication challenges and I'm just so proud of myself. Do I still struggle? My God, yes. I mean, look at what happened with my siblings recently and all that drama over a text that was wildly misconstrued. I'm still a mess when it comes to communication. When I feel strongly about something, I still put my foot in my mouth and, offend people or just shut down and don't know what to say or run away or whatever. But I have learned to speak up so much more, and I still, I'm not as bold and brave as Robin Williams, and I no longer hold Oprah in a perception of, she's not my hero anymore. That's for damn sure. And hasn't been for quite some time. And I don't know, the jury's been out for a while with Angelina Jolie, so I kind of wish that I would not have linked them in with Robin Williams in that video, but that's okay. Just because I have not become as bold and brave as Robin Williams and learned how to express myself freely in public, and just because I have not grown my social media and created viral videos, even though I pretty much know how to at this point, and I keep semi-purposefully not doing it because I just I get to these points where I think that I'm ready for the attention and 15 minutes of fame, and then, within 5-10 minutes, I do not want that. There's been a few times where I've believed that I could handle it, especially if it would bring my children back to me, but I'm sorry, kids. I love you. Someday you'll listen to this, I hope. Even though I've now been talking for almost as long as I talked in that Robin Williams suicide video, but I'm still working on it. My beautiful, beautiful wonders of my womb. I have failed repeatedly, but I continue I see the progress between the age of 34 and 41. I see the progress, and I will find a way someday to break out of my shell and help you realize how much I love you. I will. I hope that I manage it before I die. I'm doing everything in my power to stay alive, and I have been successful in that so far. And a lot has been against me, my little loves. Anyway, this is mostly for myself. I'm making this for myself, but when and if my children ever listen, I want you to know that you are foremost in my mind, always have been, always, long before you were born, and you always will be, long after I'm dead. And I will never die by my own hand. And I have purposefully fought against the temptation to do drugs and things because I knew that I would, when the pain was so bad, I was very tempted. I will unashamedly admit that. I was very, very tempted. I'm grateful to say that I've always had, well, not always, I've been offered and been in situations where there was a little bit of pressure later in life, but I mostly, I can say that whenever I've been tempted, I have had support to help me get through those really intense periods of time. Anyway, I keep digressing. I want to just share with myself, but I'm now talking to my children, and this is confusing. So I'm going to stop, but I am, this is another video that I can listen to in the night when I need to remember that I am making progress. Am I failing? Am I falling? Yes. I bite the dust so often. It's ridiculous and pathetic. But I keep falling forward. I do. And, not outwardly, not financially, not relationally, but with my boldness and my bravery and my dedication to stay alive and communicate. I am making progress. I'm not a completely different person than I was back then, but I'm not as scared and shy, and I am better with my words sometimes, and I can, look myself in the eye sometimes when I'm recording, and I can look other people, a lot longer and more in personal moments, and I can share scary things that are scary for me to share more. I'm getting better and better at opening up and being vulnerable, and yeah, I'm really, really proud of myself. So, wow, almost 30 minutes. And let's find out if this helps me fall asleep like the last one.